The flipped classroom for parents. This year in 4th grade math, we will be using the flipped classroom method. I know that some of you have some experience in the flipped classroom from 3rd grade, but there are others of you for which this is the first time you're hearing about it. This video is meant to explain what flipping is, tell why we choose to flip in 4th grade math, and then let you know about the expectations and responsibilities of both parents and students. So, what is flipping, you might ask? In a traditional classroom, the teacher might spend about 35 minutes on a whole group lesson where everybody is hearing the same information. Then she would spend about 10 minutes or less in class practicing what the students have just been taught. And then there might be homework, maybe 15 or 20 minutes of homework happening on what they've just learned. Well, in a flipped classroom, it takes these two and flips them. At the beginning, we do a 10 to 20 minute lesson at home via video, and the videos will be prepared by me looking much like this video that you're watching. Then I say 10 to 20 minutes. Most of the videos that I have recorded are about 10 minutes in length. It might take up to 20 minutes for students to take notes while they watch the video. Then we get to spend all of our class time, approximately 45 minutes, practicing the skill that was learned the night before. We can also spend much more time on applying what we have learned and then creating products that use the math that we are learning. I have been using the flipped classroom method for about 1.5 years, so this will be my second year of full-time flipping from start to finish. And why do we flip in 4th grade math? What's the point? Well, the main reason that I do it is for differentiation. We know that all students don't learn in the same way, and all students don't learn at the same pace. And this method truly allows me the opportunity to differentiate what is happening in class so that the students can learn on the best level for them. If a student comes into the room and understands what they watched the night before, then they can immediately move on to the next level of challenge. But if they come in and they have questions, then I can sit with them, work with them in a small group, and meet them right where they are. Flipping also provides just more time to do better practice. There were used to be, when I used the traditional method, all these projects and cool ideas that I wanted to use, but they take so much time. Well, if we're doing some of the instruction at home, this allows for time to do projects and do applications and games and collaboration, all the kinds of things that I always wanted to do. Now we get to do in 4th grade math. A few other advantages for the students. First of all, I feel like they love that it is self-paced. When they're sitting in class, they don't get to pause their teacher, but at home when they're watching me on the video, they can pause it, rewind it, hear it again. I really like that it helps you all stay connected to what's happening in the classroom. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I had this sort of experience happen several times where I would learn something in math class and have to go home and practice it, but my mom had no idea how we were learning it, and there was a lot of frustration about two different methods. So with the flipped video method, you can watch exactly what the students are learning and be able to help them potentially. Flipping makes for a ready review tool. If a student didn't get it, or it's been a couple weeks and a quiz or a test is coming up, then you can always watch it again. It's always there on YouTube for the students to be able to access. And then finally, I feel like flipping has truly made me a better teacher. By watching myself back and watching the lessons, I see where I can improve. I feel like I use the best examples as I'm preparing my boards, and it has made me better understand the content and be prepared to teach that to the 4th graders. So let's talk for a few minutes about the student responsibilities in the flipped classroom and how exactly that's going to work this year in 4th grade. Of course, their main responsibility is to watch the video. You can expect almost every Monday and Tuesday to have a video. That's pretty set in stone. Mondays and Tuesdays there will be a video, and then sometimes on Thursdays. Sometimes we try to get them done in class during stations. Other times we won't have time for that, and it will be assigned on Thursday. But get in the habit of knowing that there's a video Monday and Tuesday and sometimes on Thursdays. Those videos will always be posted on Edmodo, which is a safe and secure site where the students will know how to access and be able to get the link straight from Edmodo. There are times where I forget or I don't get them quite up in time by the time the students get home, so they will also learn how to access them by going onto YouTube and looking for my channel, Tales of 4th Grade, and then every single video is listed there. So in the event that the Edmodo link is not working or it's not showed up yet, then they can always access by typing in the name of my channel. It's all one word. Their second responsibility is to take notes in their math composition book. They will always want to include the title and the date, and then any important information that they need in order to be able to remember how to do the skill that we are learning. At first, we're going to use what's called guided notes, which are sheets that I will print out and send home with them that basically have fill in the blanks and spaces that helps them know exactly what is expected and required. And after a while, I like to try to wean them off of the guided notes if they're able to be able to learn how to practice taking notes on their own and figuring out as they're watching the video what's important. But at first, everybody will start with the guided notes, and then we'll step back from that as time goes on. After they watch the video, they are to rate their understanding, how they feel about the material, how much they understood it. A smiley face if they've really got it, a straight face if they're pretty sure about it, and a frowny face if they have a lot of questions. If they put either one of these ratings, then I would love for them to prepare some questions, and they can write it right on the bottom of their notes. By the way, I want to go back and talk about if they forget their notebook. No problem. They can just, or if they forget their guided notes. First of all, they can look on Edmodo to see if they're posted there and print them out if they want. Or they can always just take notes on notebook paper and then put it in their notebook at the next day. I ask for students to always get a signature of their notes. This helps to keep their notes high quality and helps you stay up to date on what kind of content that they are learning. Just for some background information for you, if a student does not watch the video, then that goes in as a 70 for homework grade. I give them a 70 because they're going to end up doing it in class anyway, even if they don't watch it at home. I give them a 90 if their notes are unsigned, and they get a 100 for their homework grade that night if the notes are complete and signed. If there's always going to be problems that come up, and it is no problem. I understand the internet might be out, you're not home, and all kinds of things happen. If for some reason the student is not able to watch the video, I understand, no problem. I just ask that a parent writes a quick note to say, internet out, and sign your name, or couldn't watch it last night, couldn't finish, whatever. I just ask that you jot me a quick note so that we can stay on the same page and know what has happened. And if I get a note and then they watch it in class, it still goes in as a 100. If I don't get a parent note, then it has to go in as a 70 for that particular, just that one assignment. So a few parent responsibilities in the flipped classroom method. First of all, if at all possible, provide access for your students for them to have a way to watch these videos. I know that not everybody's going to have internet access, and that's totally fine. We can work with you and make it happen. So some other options if you don't have internet at home, I am totally willing to put the videos on a thumb drive and send it home with the student every week, and they will just plug it into a laptop and watch the videos that way. So that would be if you have a laptop or a desktop computer but no internet access. The videos are all available on a smartphone through the Edmodo or the YouTube app. I would be happy to have students come to my room before, if they arrive to school early instead of sitting in the auditorium, or if they're a late bus, they can come to my room and watch it at the end of the day. The public library always has free internet access during the hours that they're open. You might have a friend or a neighbor or relative where you can watch it. If we work together and can't find a solution out of these, then it's always possible for the students to watch it at the beginning of class before we do the practice. It just gets them a little bit behind in what's going on in the event. So I look forward to working with you if we know that internet access is an issue and figure out a solution to that. So I also expect for you to look at the notes and sign them. And the things that you will be looking for, of course, are the title and the date of the video. And then be looking for important definitions and then also examples that might be with numbers or with pictures. If you see those things, you can assume they're done and you can sign it. And then I invite you to watch the videos. It's of course not required, but you may find some new ways to do things, and I invite you to watch them too if you would like. By the way, if you see on their notes that they have used a frowny face because they are confused and don't understand, don't encourage them to change it. It's totally okay. Not everybody's going to get it the first time or even the second or third time. That's why we practice in class. Just do encourage them to write down some specific questions if they feel confused about the material. Questions or feedback? I really look forward to working with you and your students this year in 4th grade. But if you have any questions as the process goes on, as you get the idea, or even right now at the beginning, I would really encourage you to contact me. Here's my email address, and I will definitely respond to any questions or feedback that you have. And if you're just curious about the flipped classroom and other teachers that are using this, this is the Dr. Lodge McCammon at NC State is who I learned about this from, and he's got tons of resources available and information about other classrooms where this method is being used. So feel free to check that out. I look forward to having a great year.